That's Woke Up This Morning from that great album, Pills and Ammo. It belongs to Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. Friday night, March 2nd, they will be at the House of Blues in Cleveland. It will be one wild ride, as always. Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes coming back, and I wondered why the phone over here had a strange glow to it. And here's the reason why, because back on Tangled Up in Blues, our good friend. Hello, Southside Johnny.
What's going on, Cornel?
Oh, it's just a great day in Youngstown, Ohio, man. You know, how about you? Yeah, everything going good with you?
Yeah, it's just a nasty day here in Ocean Grove, New Jersey. Rainy and windy and blah, but that's okay.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing the show on Friday night. There's a new lineup for the Jukes. Tell us about the band. There's a new kind of look to it, right?
No, really. We have the three horns and all like that. Eddie Mannion, the tenor player and baritone player, is going out with Bruce, so we've got a new guy, John Isley, who's really great. And it's usual, cast of idiots and fools and crazy people.
There's not a lot of tickets left for the show, ladies and gentlemen, so you can get yours right now at Ticketmaster.com or at HOB.com, and make sure you get them, because this show will be, as always, a sellout when Southside comes to town. What we have been doing all week long is we've been asking people to send in their questions for you, Johnny, via the Tangled Up in Blues email and Facebook. And once again, folks, if your question is used, you'll receive a copy of Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes Super Hits, and we'll let you know via Facebook. Johnny, do you Facebook? You don't seem like a Facebook kind of guy.
No, I'm not a Twitter or Facebook guy, but we do have Twitter and Facebook pages, but some of the other guys run that, and I occasionally contribute, but I'm not really a Facebook. I don't have friends, so all I have is ex-band members.
You got millions and millions of friends, whether you like it or not. Someone told me that they actually, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you sources, but someone said Johnny is mellowing with age.
We'll see about that.
Hey, here we go. This is from Ron in Youngstown, and he says, what is the side project you were doing called Poor Fools? Is it true you're actually playing guitar?
Yes. I've wanted to do an acoustic thing for a number of years. I'm not a good enough guitar player to do it myself, so I've got a couple of people that I know that are out with me, and we're just doing different material and trying to strip it down a little bit, do a little country, a little blues, some more folkish stuff, and some originals and things like that. Just for fun, just to do it, and it really is a lot of fun. It's a lot less bother than traveling with the whole Jukes, because we set up our own equipment, and there's a little tiny drum set, and we have all of us play drums at one point or another. We have 5 drummers in the band.
Oh, wow.
So it is really fun, though. We just pick songs out of the air and have some fun with it, as I say.
And I'm sure you're able to play a lot smaller places with that kind of unit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We've been playing little theaters and some real dive clubs, and we play up in Canada, and it's a fun thing to do. It's just to express yourself musically and get out and play.
Well, I like this one here. This is from Rochelle in Akron, Ohio. She says, I'm 19 years old. I love your singing style. My dad got me hooked on your music when I was very young. Who had the biggest influence on you vocally, and did you ever take voice lessons?
I've never taken any voice lessons. I think you can hear it in my voice today. I don't know anything about all that stuff. All I know is to get up and sing and have a good time and let loose. The biggest influences on me probably are people like Ray Charles and Big Joe Turner and Billie Holiday, just those real rough, great, honest voices, really emotional voices. That's what I was always drawn to. Benny King.
Yeah.
People like that who sang from the heart, and that's why I have the Jukes, so that I can do that kind of thing and not do a lot of pop or anything like that, but really more R&B and blues and rock and roll.
Big George from Austintown, Ohio. Hey, Big George, do you remember your first gig as Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes, and give us the juice of details?
boy, I don't know if I remember. We were in transition. I had a band that I had joined called the Blackberry Booze Band, not my name.
Uh-huh.
I didn't name it. And I kind of took over that band, as is my wont. And Steve Van Zandt came in, and Kevin Cavanaugh, and we wanted to have horns, and we couldn't find any real horn players except for a saxophone player in Asbury Park at that time. So eventually we got some people, and we started to change the name of the band, and it became Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes.
Gotcha.
And that was, I guess, around the early 70s, 72, 73, something like that. But when that actual transition into that name is, I'm not sure. I don't remember.
That's a good enough answer, though. But, and this is a nice segue. Johnny, when did you first meet Bruce? And out of all the songs Bruce has written, which one do you like the most personally?
I met Bruce. There was a club in Asbury Park that I lived like a half a mile from that I used to go to every night, and I was kind of the resident jam singer, called the Upstage Club. And it was above a Tom McCann shoe store. And there was no alcohol, so teenagers could stay there. We used to stay there till 5 o'clock in the morning. And one day I walked in, and it was this long-haired guy playing a gold Les Paul, singing a song about how the nuns taught him the blues because a nun at Music Appreciation Day brought in a B.B. King record. And that was the first Bruce had ever heard of B.B. King. This was when he was in school, obviously. And he was so charismatic and playing great guitar and making up this song as he went along. And I thought, who is this guy? And why is he in my club? So that's the first time I ever saw him, and he was just so charismatic and just such power on stage. And, we became friends after that because we all hung out at that club. Steve Van Zandt, Gary Talent, Vinny Lopez, all of us used to hang out there all the time.
Do you have a favorite Bruce song?
I still think Jungle Land is one of the great masterpieces of rock and roll.
Very cool. Very cool. Hey, this is a one of a kind for Johnny. Johnny is known for being a bird watcher and a bird lover. Myself,
that's right,
owning a yellow-fronted green Amazon parrot. Tell us about what is your favorite bird or a funny story about them. By the way, birds are cool, and that's from Trixie and Sharon. So you're a bird watcher, Johnny.
I have been for many years, yes. And that gets me all out, and now I go to Costa Rica and California and Europe, and it's an excuse to get away. So I just got back from Florida. We played a few dates down there, and then I stole a few days for a vacation and saw a few things here and there. The best bird I ever saw is the quetzal in Costa Rica. It's a magnificent bird. It's an iridescent green with a tail 3 times as long as its body. It's just a spectacular bird.
And it's called what again, Johnny?
A quetzal.
A quetzal, okay.
It's Quetzl or something like that. It's like a Aztec word or something like that.
Uh-huh. Very cool. A 2-part question from Mary Ann in Medina, Ohio. I've been a fan of yours since the mid-'70s. What is your favorite album that you've recorded? And if there's only one album you could listen to every day by another artist, what would it be? Ooh, that's a tough one, man.
That's a hard one. I mean, Hearts of Stone is always way up there, but Pills and Ammo, too. It was just a lot of fun to make, and I was very happy with the way it came out. Messing with the Blues, another album that was such fun. Gary Talent playing bass, and Bobby and Jeff, and a crazy drummer named Chucky down in Nashville in this little studio that Gary had. Those are all fun albums. I mean, I've had a good time mostly making records. A couple have been hard, but I couldn't possibly listen to one album.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I have tens of thousands of songs embedded in my brain. We always had this debate. We used to have this debate on the bus. Which would you rather, if you had to lose one, which would you rather lose? Your sight or your hearing? And I always pick hearing because I've got enough songs stockpiled in my brain that I can always call up.
Yeah.
I haven't read enough books yet. So, but there's no one album I could pick that I would go crazy after listening to.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Final one for you, Johnny. I think you deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's from Henry in Youngstown. And Henry, I couldn't agree with you more, buddy. Do you ever think about being inducted? And long live the Juke, see you in Cleveland. So, do you ever think about that, Johnny?
Not too much, no. I mean, it's just not the way I think about myself. Maybe if they embalmed me and put me in a casket and put me in there, I might accept that. But it's really not on my radar because I don't think that way. The whole thing to me is, I mean, I support them and I'm glad for them. I've got friends that work there, but it just seems like that's something that happens after you're dead. Right, Trump did. Right. Okay. Thanks a lot.
we're going back to 2007 here, and you remember when you dropped by the Beacon Theater, since March is right around the corner, and the Almonds will be doing they play like 90 nights there at the Beacon Theater. You joined them on stage back in 2007. What was that like playing with the Allman Brothers Band?
Oh, it was great. They're a terrific band, and they're very loose and fun. And I've known Greg for quite a while. We met years and years ago. Of course, just like all musicians, I only run into them once or twice every so often. But the guys are great. I mean, and they love the horn section, so they invite the horn section, and they invited me to come play, and it's just easy. It's easy with that. They have the same roots as I do, all the blues and R&B, and so it's fun, and the Beacon crowd is a great crowd. They're a little out of it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
In some ways, but they're very appreciative of it. And so, I mean, it's playing with Greg Allman and all the guys, that play in that band.
Friday night, March 2nd, House of Blues in Cleveland. It'll be a wild ride. Southside Johnny and the Jukes. Get your tickets right now. Let's go back to the Beacon in 2007. Here's Southside with the Allman Brothers Band and Key to the Highway on Tangled Up in Blues.